Well, hello there. If this is your first time coming to the channel, my name is Matt Otis, and I love reptiles. I have loved reptiles pretty much my whole life. Starting from when I was 4 years old, I lived on Whidbey Island in Washington State. And there was lots of garter snakes crawling around in my yard. And we had a bunch of Himalayan blackberry bushes and stinging nettles all over the place, and I liked the garter snakes so much that I would jump into stinging nettles to catch them, and blackberry bushes. It was painful, but it was worth it. And ever since then I've had a fascination with reptiles, and to this day I love keeping them and learning about them and even teaching people about them as well. And I've started this channel here just to kind of document some of the things that I'm doing. Hopefully you guys can learn along with me, but I think the main reason I'm doing this is because I know that if I have to tell you guys about what I'm doing, that I'm going to improve my process as well, and my animals ultimately are going to benefit from it. And honestly, what I have here now is just the beginning. I've got some big plans about what I want to do in the future, and I'm just getting started. But I would like to give a little update about what I've got going on and go in a little more depth about what I own, and maybe about what I'm going to get in the future. So here we go. Alright, well, let's start off with the elephant in the room. I mean the giant 300-gallon stock tank in the room that you may have seen in previous videos. But this is the home of my common snapping turtle. Her name is Turdy. And I set this up about 3 months ago probably now. And it's working out really well for her. She loves it, having all this room to walk around, and it's also allowed me to interact with the snapping turtle a whole lot more. I love just sitting next to the tank. I stick my hands in there, I pet her, feed her, and walk over and say hi. And this is her sleepy spot. She's been here overnight probably, but she is awake now. She just hasn't really gotten out of bed. So, but yeah, I love coming up to the tank and saying hi. Hi, Turdy. You gonna come out and stick your head out and say hi? Or are you just gonna sit in there and snuggled up in your rock bed? Anyway, this tank is working out pretty well. Only thing is, I'm gonna be honest, when I was researching what to upgrade from the 125 gallon, I saw all these Rubbermaid stock tanks, and then I found this one and I was like, this shape is just so much better. That's how it's long and not completely round. If it's completely round, it's like really awkward shape for a room. Kind of eats up the whole space. So I was like, this is so much better. But honestly, I didn't research enough into that, because apparently these galvanized tanks, they leach zinc into the water, and so that's something that's probably going to be an issue for me eventually. And so what I have to do now is buy a pond liner that fits the size of a tank, and I'm gonna have to take everything out, put the pond liner in, and then completely redo this whole cage. So that's gonna be a lot of work, and that sucks that I have to redo it, but honestly I have fun doing it anyway, so it won't be that big of a deal. But I've noticed that if I move the sand out of the way here, the bottom of the tank is already kind of pitted. Not so bad right here, but over on this side, maybe it's because the rocks have been sitting on the sand, pushing the sand into the tank. I don't know, but I don't like how the bottom's looking on this tank already, so it's something I'm gonna have to do pretty soon. On this aquaponics forum I was reading, they were just saying that your fish start dying and you have one of these galvanized tanks, then you probably know that it's leaching zinc into the water. I have pumpkin seed sunfish in here who is doing great. He greedily eats up cockroaches that I throw into here. So the zinc can't be too bad because, oh wait, there he is. His head's right. Oh yeah, see, he saw some drops of water from my fingers and he's like, oh, is that food? Anyway, he's doing good, so it can't be that bad. And I do water changes frequently, so, but it's something I'm gonna have to do, which is kind of a pain, but it is what it is. All right, so here's Turdy, and she is pretty tame for a common snapping turtle. I hold her a lot. I can even pet her on the head here. So there you have it. Over here, I have bearded dragon on top, and my box turtle, ornate box turtle on the bottom here. Guess I'll start with her. This is Dandelion. She loves to try and bite me when I pick her up. She looks so innocent, but she's kind of mean. Luckily she's tiny and easy to dodge. Anyway, she just had a little berry snack this morning. Made a big mess. I also just changed her water, and it's already got leaves and gunk in it. She's really good at bulldozing everything. Anyway, this bioactive substrate that I set up has been working out really well. I put a bunch of night crawlers in here and red wrigglers, along with some buffalo beetles and I don't have any isopods in here yet, but I have springtails. Anyway, everything is doing really well. Growing some awesome basil plants here. Mostly those are for me. I use them for cooking, but I can also pluck off leaves and feed it to the turtle. Though she doesn't really care about it too much. She does eat, greens every now and then. Mostly she likes the berries and cockroaches and things like that. But I can also feed it to Mr. Mango up here. Feed the basil to him, so it's pretty awesome. There's some rosemary in there as well. Besides that, the worms are reproducing. See, sometimes at night I'll shine a light on here and see all little baby worms in the soil. The only problem I'm having with my box turtle cage and also my toad paludarium is there's an infestation of cyarid flies. So those are dark-wing fungus gnats, and apparently they're a very common greenhouse pest, and when you set up new vivariums they tend to just go crazy. And so I'm going to be trying to get rid of those soon, and I'll probably come out with a whole video about that because it's something that everyone seems to have a problem with when they set up bioactive enclosures. So that's kind of a bummer, but honestly they just fly around and die. They're not like fruit flies that get into all your food and just are really annoying. The dark-winged fungus gnats just kind of fly around and die. They don't bite or anything. They're just kind of a nuisance. Anyway, here's my bearded dragon, Mango. Kind of got a whole mess of lights here. We got the hot rock and the ceramic heat emitter and our UVB. Oh, and by the way, there's a UVB bulb right there. This is more of like a heat light for keeping it around 90 degrees right there. And I've also got a plant light down here to grow that delicious basil. Anyway, I just gave Mango a delicious cilantro breakfast here, and he thanked me by taking a large dump right there. You are a dirty lizard. Dirty, dirty lizard, you. Alright, I've got this is my newest acquisition here. We got a little tokay gecko just hanging out on the side of his tub there. This is a bioactive cage as well. I'll be getting something more permanent for him right now. I mean, a little bit later. Right now he's in kind of this tub that does the trick, holds the humidity well, and got some nice fake plants in there for him, but he's doing pretty good. But then down here, like I said before, this is my toad paludarium. Since the last video I posted about this, I've added this nice pothos vine, planted it back in the corner over there. It's doing alright. It's got some new growth here on the extremity, but there are some funky looking leaves going on, so I'm not sure how well exactly it's doing. But this wandering Jew plant that I put in there is doing amazing. It's growing like crazy. And I just recently added some night crawlers and red wrigglers into the soil in this tank as well. But the toad loves it, comes out at night, you know, hangs out in the pond area. And whenever I put a bunch of cockroaches in there, all of a sudden the toad magically appears from the corner. When he's hiding back there, you really can't see him at all. So actually it's a she. Way to misgender my animals here. Jeez. All right. And then for the rest of this rack here, you know, it's kind of a homemade setup. And yeah, I've got some of my old balloon art hanging around. That's what I do full time. I'm a balloon artist. I make all sorts of crazy things, parties and events, making everyone have a good time. And sometimes I decorate my stuff with them. But I guess starting from the top, I've got a red runner cockroach colony. It's producing like crazy, doing really well. And then I have various leopard geckos on the top rack there. And then we've got a boa, an eastern hognose snake, and a ball python. So I'm going to be going through all of those eventually. Plans that I have for the near future. Well, Mr. Boa here is going to be moving over to this open space that I have. I'm going to be getting a really big cage right here. Actually, two of them. I want to stack them. Stack two cages here. I'm going to have the boa, and I'm also wanting to get a blue tegu. That's kind of my next move here. I also have two western hognose snakes. They are currently hibernating, and so we're in the basement, and I have a crawl space, and way back right there, I have them sitting on the concrete floor. Now I have a temp gun. I've been checking the temperatures every few days, and they are sitting right at about 54 degrees, which is perfect to brumate them. So I'll be bringing those back out in a few months. The female is not big enough to breed, but I've been having problems with my male not really wanting to eat, and so I figured that cycling him would probably help a lot, and hopefully he'll be hungry when he wakes up, and we can get him eating consistently for the rest of the year, putting some weight on him. He's like 120 grams, something like that, so he's a full-grown male, doing well. But it's always good when your hognose snakes are eating every week. Males are kind of annoying that way. They like to go off feed, so hopefully we can get him going strong at the beginning of the year. But I think that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to be trying to post a video every week from now on. So that's my goal. I'm going to do one every week. So complain at me if I'm slacking, okay? Keep me on target. All right. Stay on target. Stay on target. Anyway, I like Star Wars. There you go. Catch you later.